Okay, Coach. A few weeks off here, and you go to the Ron Pin this weekend, and then a couple weeks before conference. But what's it like having these few weeks off? Is that an advantage to you?
I guess on my end, it's been nice that things have kind of calmed down a little bit. Not as hectic, but it's been good for the kids. I think just to kind of get back in a routine of training. Obviously, when we're traveling a lot, you miss class and things like that. So it was a good time for them to catch up on schoolwork or kind of get back into the fray of things there. And for training, I think it was good to kind of just get our feet back underneath us. We took a little bit of a down week right after GRIAC, and I think everyone was a little bit tired physically and mentally from like the month of September. So it was kind of good to kind of regroup, I guess, and kind of have like this one last final push into UND this Saturday, and then conference, and then region 4 weeks from now.
Are there certain goals in mind for this weekend where you think your players can step up more?
I don't have. We've been kind of stressing that the big race is a week from this Saturday, being the conference championship. So that's where we want to obviously do really well, and that's what we've focused on since August. So, I think this weekend will all be about if there's any cobwebs, I guess, from having these 2.5 weeks off, and kind of getting back into that race day routine of what it's like to put on the uniform, go through drills, have that little nervousness that some may have, things like that. So I don't have any specific goals other than we want to go out there like we have all season and be competitive. And we've stressed just being the best version of ourselves on Saturday, men and women. And I think we've done that up to this point, and it's worked out very well for us.
What's the training been like the past couple of weeks, not having a meet kind of look forward to?
So we were able to kind of get in some longer stuff and kind of up the volume a little bit as far as workouts go. So we work out twice a week on Tuesday and Friday. So we were able to do some stuff that, heading into a race, you don't want to do too much, and obviously you want to, race well. So these last 2.5 weeks, we've been able to really have some bigger volume workouts for the guys and the girls, to kind of get those last bit in, before we have to kind of taper off again heading into championship season. The weather being what it is, the last couple of days didn't exactly play to our advantage, but we were sort of lucky. We were able to get our workout in right before the snowstorm hit Friday, and then we practiced Sunday afternoon. It was pretty much melting by then. So the weather really has it, other than the wind, I guess, which is typical North Dakota. Not much you can do there, but the snow itself didn't really play a huge factor, which was nice.
How important is it for you first to be number 10 in the Central Region for the first time ever, and now 3 straight weeks, hopefully a fourth come tomorrow?
I think it's been huge. I've talked to the ladies about this a little bit, just to kind of let them know, I guess educate them about where we are as a program. And I've said, we were, I think, 5th to last year in the region on the women's side, and to jump all the way to 10th, I don't know that you've ever seen that. Usually you take those like baby steps, and then 2 or 3 years down the road, you're top 10 in the region, and then maybe you're contending to make a run at going to the NCAA championships, things like that. But just how big of a deal it's been. I've told them there's been so many people just around campus, or have stopped me just walking around town, that have just said congrats and things like that. So I think it's been huge for the ladies, and I think some of them don't realize how big of a deal it is, but been super excited for them. As I've said all along, they have certainly earned that. It wasn't just given to them. They've gone out and worked hard every day. Even in the summer when I didn't know pretty much half the team, they've gone out and worked super hard for it, and the results have shown. And obviously, we're glad that whoever does the ranking for the region has recognized us in that aspect.
You said some of them don't even realize how big of a deal this is. Do you think that's kind of helped them in a way?
I think it has, because I know you get that nervousness or that pit in your stomach sometimes, before big races and things like that. And I think when you're a freshman coming out of high school, it's you're already nervous because pretty much every meet is like your state meet, I guess, and that's just a regular race in college, and so you're already pretty nervous there, and so I think it hasn't added any pressure, which has been good as far as like, hey, we're 10th, we need to do this or do that, but I think we're getting to the point now where it's been 3 weeks, and we have a few upperclassmen that I think realize how big of a deal it is, but I think some of the freshmen are now starting to kind of come into the fold as far as hey, this has been a pretty big deal for us, for our program, for our school, the university. We've never had a men's or women's cross country program ranked since we joined D2. But now that we're heading into conference time, kind of we've been talking about certain teams that we feel like we can be really competitive with, that we see ourselves with, things like that, and where that all stacks up, as far as the conference itself, and then the region a couple weeks later.